going on, everyone? This is Iris, and god damn, it's hot in the city today. It's about 95 degrees. It feels like 105. People are just melting in the sidewalk looking for Pokemons, and it's just nuts. But I'm going to try to get through my next episode of They Asked, So I Answered. The first question is going to be from Black Ninja 797, and he asked, would I rather have $10 million or 10 million subscribers? And I gotta say, you know what? I'm gonna take the money, and here's why. I'm gonna take the $10 million, I'm gonna pay off my house, I'm gonna set up my daughter forever, I'm gonna set up my retirement forever, and then I'll have the time to bust my ass at YouTube and I'll get 10 million subscribers. So by taking the money, eventually I'll work towards getting the 10 million subscribers. So if I get 10 million subscribers, let's see, how long would it take me to get $10 million? I don't know, I'd have to do that math, but probably longer than just taking the money and working towards 10 million subs. Great question though. But I definitely take the money just to pay off a lot of things that I got going on and set everybody up for life. Maybe do some giveaways, who knows. The next question is going to come from the Jerry 1980, and the question is, how do I handle family, work, and gaming, including YouTube? And you know, it's not very difficult. It's, you know, I don't grind like others do. You know, I don't worry too much about the gameplays that I do get, because I don't really play enough and often enough to get my beast mode back from when I had back in my COD 4 World at War days. But you know, I play when I can at night after my daughter goes to sleep, and you know, if there's nothing that my wife wants to watch, I'll go downstairs in the basement in my little room and you know, flick it on and play for a couple hours, grab some gameplay and save them on an external drive, bring them to work. And you know, while I'm at work like I am now, if I have time, usually during lunch, to record a commentary, I'll bust it out. It's not too difficult, but again, I don't put so much effort into it. You know, I could probably do a lot better with promoting my channel maybe in some time that I do have, but right now I'm just trying to crank out videos. You know, the part about real life stuff comes up all the time, whether I have softball games or whether there's yard work I got to do, or just help friends around, or just, you know, just go running places with the family. So that's one of the reasons why it's really hard for me to get like a set schedule that I'd really like to have, but real life prevents me from doing that right now. But one day I'd love to get to that point. Great question though. The next question is coming from Mr. GreyDisciple, and he asked, when was your first upload? What was your first COD? Basically, my first COD was Call of Duty 4, and the way that came about was, it was the year that it was released. That Christmas, my wife got me, we just moved into the house that we're currently in, and she got me, she went to GameStop and she said, I want to get my husband a couple of games. And the guy, I guess, was like, well, what does he like? And she said, well, he likes, you know, like military stuff. So she came home with Resistance: Fall of Man and Call of Duty 4. And the first game that I put in and played for quite a bit, probably 3 or 4 months, was actually Resistance: Fall of Man. I loved that game. I thought the online and offline modes were great. It's something that I really wish Call of Duty would do, where you can make up private games and lobbies, and you can decide which ones you want to go into with whatever rules you want to go in, or you can make your own. But yeah, that was it. That was Call of Duty 4, and it was that winter, probably more like the spring, because I played Resistance: Fall of Man for quite a bit. My first video is actually, I'm gonna put it down in the description. I'll put the link. It's just you guys just go look at it and let me know what you think about it. But yeah, that's all I gotta say about that. Okay, so the next one's coming from the IronWalrus, and he asked, for the next one, being the next question, this episode, how long have I been married? And actually, next week, July 31st, will be 18 years that I've been married. You know, it goes by so fast. Those of you that are, you know, maybe not married as long, or just getting married or not married, it goes by really fast. But what helps is that you're with somebody and you find somebody that you really get along with, and that you know, it just helps a lot. We got a nice little family unit going. I wouldn't trade it for the world. Never, you know, we got married when we were young. When I first got in the Navy, I was 21, she was 19. when we got married. So yeah, I mean, it just flew by. We're actually thinking about trying to come up with some kind of cool thing to do for our 20th. And you know, when those plans come about, I'll let you guys know. We'll see how that comes out. Next question is going to be from Stang, Mr. Stang, and he asks, how about what game got you hooked? Now, I said that Resistance Fall of Man was my first game that first year before COD 4, but the first game that got me, I would say, hooked in, I would say the genre of gaming that is in now, like first-person shooter type, is good, because I had everything from Atari 2600 all the way up till now, the quad. But the first game that I got on PlayStation that really got me hooked with like a headset and, you know, having to follow commands and give commands was SOCOM. You guys remember that, the first SOCOM where you got the free headset? That was the first game that kind of got me hooked into, you know, full immersion into the game. I never really got into, you know, League of Legends or any like fantasy games like that. It just wasn't my thing. I never got into it. Not saying I never would, but you know, it's just really not my thing. But yeah, that's first SOCOM, and I had the free headset. Again, my wife looked at me like I was an idiot, but because she doesn't really get it. But yeah, it was fun. But then I got into Resistance Fall of Man, and then COD 4 is obviously what got me hooked into COD, and I've just been COD ever since. COD 4 my favorite, followed by World at War. And, you know, Ghost is up there. I'll have to come up with a list of my favorite CODs from 4 all the way up until present time. And we'll see what I come up with. So the next question, and it's the final question, it's from Truth's Chaos. And who is your biggest inspiration for YouTube or life in general? That's a good question. So I don't, in life in general, really my inspiration, I'm going to say, is really just my daughter and my family, just to be the best dad and family person that I can be. I kind of live by the credo that I'm my own. I'm my own person. I believe in myself. I believe that I can do everything. I don't look for inspirational help from religion, you know, and I don't discredit anybody who does. If that's what you want to do and that helps you, if that provides you hope, if that provides you a way to, you know, help yourself mentally and you know, that can help people, and that's fun. But for me, my inspiration, I kind of draw it from myself, really. I inspire to be the best person that I can be. And when I do succeed in certain things like that, like being a good dad, and, you know, when my daughter tells me she loves me, that's where I get the inspiration from. Just my little close-knit family unit that we got going on. Now, as far as YouTube, you know, I draw inspiration from the old school guys like Thunder, Apocalypse, Jive, people like that. Even the old school Biblical Reaper. I've left some comments on some of his news videos where, you know, it's cool that he's doing the news, but if he could just go back and just do an old school Call of Duty commentary like he used to, you know, that would be awesome for some of the people that were subbed to him for that reason when he was back, you know, sub 10,000 people. I like the old school, just talking over the gameplay. You know, I know the new thing is streaming, and I know face cams, and I'm sure if I did that stuff, I could grow my channel probably a little bit more. Don't know how much, but I want to keep it the old way. Not saying that I won't do a face cam. I always promise that my 500th sub video will be a face reveal. Obviously, I want to do more streaming. I don't know if I'll do it with a cam or not, but those of you that have seen some of my streams might have seen one that I put up there by accident. So my figure is posted out there somewhere in the world. But yeah, the old school stuff, man. Like, you know, like Apocalypse tells great stories. Like, if you go back and listen to some of his old stuff, go back like 6-8 months ago and listen to some of the stories that he does while he's out drinking with his guys. And, you know, Thunder always has great stories. And now, you know, that I'm into like GreyDisciple has great topics and great stories behind them. And you really want to listen to them. Like, it's almost like, you know, people that are into like Game of Thrones and these series. To me, YouTube and some of the personalities on here are like series to me. Like, I want to know what happens next week, and I want to see their video next week to know what happened. Like, I keep up to date on the stories. Even guys like El Presidor, like with his Yobo, You Only Beast Once. hysterical series he did, but it was funny and I looked forward to seeing them. Another great commentator. I mean, you know, he doesn't play the bullshit. He doesn't play the kids. He doesn't, you know, he tells it like it is. Whether you like him or not, he's a funny, entertaining guy. That's really what I came up with. That's how I really, when I first started looking in YouTube and searching, I started seeing these guys like KYR Speedy Shoutcast was an hysterical series. I don't know if you guys have seen it, but funny. I'm so upset they don't do it again. I'm hoping they come back and maybe do it once or twice for COD 4 Remastered. That would be awesome. Him, Jehovah Witness, Blame Truth. You know, these guys were the trendsetters. They started it, and that's how I try to emulate myself, and I try to gain inspiration from the way that they did it and the way that they grew. And you know, some of them, most of them did it the right way, and I'm trying to do it the right way myself. You know, I could sit here and you know, do a lot of these SEO things and thumbnail things and just, you know, I try to refrain from tweeting stuff out, although I'm doing it a lot more. But I am seeing a little bit spike in traffic from doing that. I'm doing it more through Google Plus, so I don't bother everybody. I'm doing it more through Facebook, so I don't bother everybody on Twitter. Because the last thing, I don't want anybody to think that I'm annoying when I'm doing it, because one day I'm going to want somebody who has 10 subscribers right now that I want to be their inspiration. Like, I want them to do it like how I did it. Like, you guys can go back and look at some of my first videos, because you're going to look at the old one down in the link, right? You guys are going to go down there and check it out. Look at where I've come from. You know, I'm progressing. My quality, you know, I'm getting compliments on my quality. When I first started, my quality was crap. You know, I had to Google, how do you do Vegas? How do you, hey, you know, I watched Drifter's video, how he set up his Vegas and everything. So I copied it, I tweaked it, and I kept tweaking along the way until I got something that worked for me. You know, I get complimented from Thunder when I uploaded TSG. He's like, dude, your quality is outstanding. Like, that makes me feel so good and motivates me to just keep this stuff going. And I want one day people to look at me that way. You know, not saying I'll ever be like 100,000 subscriber channel, but as long as I'm doing it and people are watching and people are getting enjoyment out of it, you know, I want that same inspiration to them as I'm getting from these guys. Because one day, you know, these guys are going to stop, and there's going to have to be another generation of people doing this, and hopefully I'll be one of them. Hey, listen, real quick, the gameplay in the background is Warframe. It was one of those free downloads. Every now and then I poke around in there. This game I jumped in, it was the first time I played in months, and I was just following the other guy and just shot anything I could see. Listen, that's it for this one. I hope you guys enjoyed it. In the comments, throw me questions. You can throw me questions on Twitter. I try to answer them all. I try to do it the best and most honest way that I can. You guys are enjoying the series. I know you are, because the views are up. Let's keep the views up, share it, and I'll see you on the next one. Later.